Good morning, or well, actually, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to our Community Information Seminar. I'm Jenny Geddes, and I'm the CEO of Clean Up Australia. And I'd like to start today by acknowledging the traditional owners of the lands on which we meet today, and acknowledge our elders past and present. I know we're all meeting on different lands right across the country. I'm in Sydney and it's a very rainy morning here. So I hope it's lovely where you are. We have three people I would like to introduce you today. We have Greta Stevens, who you'll be hearing from shortly. Greta's our community manager at Clean Up Australia. And Greta will be sharing all the details on how to get a cleanup started or how to join a cleanup. But to start our session today, I'm absolutely delighted to welcome Tamara Wickremanayake. Tamara is an amazing community advocate. She is the secretary of the Lions Club of Turramurra. She's actually the district chair. And Tamara has been involved in cleanups for an enormous amount of 5 years, and she does a regular cleanup every Saturday morning around the Ku-ring-gai area, which is in the northern suburbs of Sydney. I've had the great privilege of actually getting to know Tamara and cleaning up with her and just understanding her story. And the Lions Club of Turramurra actually did a fundraiser to support us putting on this webinar, which we hope is a really useful resource for everyone for many years to come. Tamara, thank you so much for joining us. And I'd just like to ask you a question really to kick us off, which is just love to hear a little bit about why you got involved in cleanups. And I'd really love to hear from you around your experience around what it actually does for the environment, but also what it means to your community and for the people who join.
Oh, thank you, Jenny. Thank you for inviting me to tell our story. Oh, it was quite easy, you know. You take a bag, a pair of gloves, go for a walk, pick up a few pieces of rubbish, and because every piece counts. We all know ocean pollution is a massive problem. Seeing lots of rubbish like plastic bags, bottles, cigarette butts on the street is not a pretty sight. And these can easily end up in the ocean. So once you notice it, it's very hard to ignore it. You'll see more and more, and you can't not do something about it. During my corporate career, I didn't think I had much time, or I didn't think about this issue much, mainly because of my busy schedule. But now I can't believe I didn't do this earlier. It was during COVID, you know, I needed to get involved and I wanted to do something about it. On my walks, I started to pick up rubbish off the street. I took, say, an empty bag. I went on a walk. When I came back, it was full. And often one bag was not enough. So each time I went down, I would take a different path to cover more areas. We know people have busy lives. This got me thinking about what I can do to bring awareness to more people. How just in 1 hour and there on a walk, can I have this impact? Can I have an impact? I needed to do more to start somewhere. And at the time, I heard about the Lions Club, a grassroots service organization that do a lot of community work. Environment and sustainability was one of their pillars, and this aligned with my values. The structure was local clubs, district teams, state groups who provide services to their local communities. The Lions Club seemed like a great organization to enable me to do this, to promote the cause a bit more, just me and my cleanups. So together, with my husband Roshan and some friends and some locals, we formed the Lions Club in Turramurra, a group conscious about our local surroundings, doing little things normal people can do, one piece at a time. And now we are not alone. The purpose was to create a group and make a bigger impact and grow this group. We have a number of volunteers helping us today, and we are so grateful for it. It was easy to choose the location. Start small, local. So we chose South Turramurra. We decided we will not clean up. We'll do a cleanup maybe once a month. And since 2020, we have done these monthly cleanups, just 1 hour a month. And then when we go on our walks, some of our most enjoyable moments, I would say, would be that we have a trusted group of friends that we have met. We turn up every month. We keep South Turramurra clean for all to enjoy. People in the local areas love and appreciate what we do. We enjoy our walks, our talks, and not to say coffees as well, along the way, and make it a very interesting morning. We discussed what we can do about certain litter spots, how perhaps they can be avoided. Given Turramurra is located in the Ku-ring-gai National Park area, I think we also are doing our bit in preventing rubbish from washing into parks and streams. Statistically, at each cleanup, we would collect around 5 to 10 kilos. And we have done that. We have done more than 60 cleanups by now, I think. So the impact is great. A few years ago, we doubled the purpose. We started registering our rubbish collection in the data online on the Cleanup Australia website. We complete a litter report. It was easy. So you can also start your own cleanup or even join a group in your local area. Get involved in Cleaning Up Australia everyday projects. It's so much fun. As mentioned earlier, we meet lovely people along the way. And my most memorable story, as you said, Jenny, was that I met you one day in a cleanup in St. Ives. And yes, it is raining here as well, like. So I was happy to see, Jenny, you being there, walking the talk, and doing what you are doing. Also, you mentioned that, Cleanup Australia is a group of about 8 to 10 people. That's correct, yeah. I mean, it's amazing to think the immense work that you guys do, just a small group of you, do such a lot of great work. Australia needs more help. So I would say to anyone listening to me and to join in and experience the satisfaction of community cleanups. Yeah, I think so.
Thank you, Tamara. And that is a wonderful message. And we know that your efforts are just emulated right across the country. And we know that the Lions of Australia also have so many groups getting involved. So we sincerely appreciate you and, excuse me, all your amazing members. And I think your message is just so powerful, isn't it? That we can all make an incredible difference, and to start small and not get overwhelmed by the enormous challenge that we all have. And I was also so grateful to hear that you're compiling the litter report at the end. And I know Greta will touch on that, because that's such an important record of what's being collected across the country, and it really reflects the changing nature of litter. So we've just released our most recent litter report, and it shows, sadly, that cigarette butts are again one of the #1 littered item. And I know that whenever we do our cleanups as a team and with your team, we pick up so many cigarette butts, don't we?
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, Tamara. It was great for us to hear from you. And I would now like to hand to our amazing community manager, Greta, who's going to share more details on the process of getting involved or joining a cleanup or starting your own. So thank you again, Tamara.
Thank you, Jenny.
Okay, thanks so much, Tamara. Thanks so much, Jenny. And hello, everyone. Thanks for being here today. As Jenny mentioned, I'm Greta, the community manager here at Cleanup. And I'm just going to quickly walk through everything that you need to know about getting involved with Cleanup Australia Day this year. As you may know, Cleanup Australia Day is on the first Sunday in each year. And what started as a single environmental day of action by one man, Ian Kiernan, in 1990 continues to grow. Last year, we had over 8,000 different cleanups take place around the country. And across the year, we estimate over 1 million people put on their gloves and volunteer at cleanups, which is just amazing. For me personally, getting involved with a cleanup is a really simple and powerful way to make a difference in my local community. It's a way that I connect with the environment, even in a city like Sydney, but also a way for me to connect with the people around me. And there are two ways, like Tamara touched on getting involved in Cleanup Australia Day. You can hold your own cleanup, go out on your own, grab your family and your friends, or you can join a cleanup that's already organised. If you've never done one before, sometimes joining one is a great way to ease into it before you host your own. But today, I'm going to start by talking how we run through your own cleanup, and then at the end, I'll quickly show you how you can join one. So let's dive right in. How to host a cleanup. Hosting a cleanup in its simplest form is 3 easy steps. Choose a time and a place for your cleanup, register your cleanup and get your cleanup kit, bring your mates or go solo and pick up litter. Easy as that. I'll go into these in a little more detail so you can feel really confident about hosting a cleanup. But if you've got any questions along the way, please do add them to the Q&A feed and we'll try and get to a few at the end. Firstly, step 1, when and where, how to find a location to clean up. So you can generally find litter everywhere, even in places that you think are pretty clean. Perhaps there's a place, a street, a park or a suburb nearby that you've noticed has a bit of litter. Here are some areas that tend to accumulate litter, including high traffic areas like main streets, shopping malls, pedestrian areas, outside schools, train stations, bus stops and car parks, those sorts of places. Parks are really great too. Many public parks are looked after really well by local council, but there's still lots of nooks and crannies in parks that gather litter. As you know, and as Tamara touched on, litter flows from our streets to the sea with rain. So waterways are a good place to catch it before it travels out there. Rivers, beaches, mangroves, they're good places to host cleanups as well. And while not very glamorous, industrial areas tend to accumulate a lot of litter. So these are good places to target for a cleanup too. Safety is always our number one priority at cleanup, so be mindful that your location is safe for everyone. You might like to take a look at the litter hotspot map on our website. It sits under resources here. And you can enter in your suburb and you'll see all these pins with suggested locations that have a lot of litter. You can also view the spreadsheet here, which has a list of all these locations. But if you also know of a litter hotspot, feel free to submit it on here as well. We recommend visiting the location to check it out first. And I always do a site visit of our cleanups. And here are a few things that I'm looking out for. Firstly, kind of a suitable place for our meeting point. There might be a picnic table or somewhere in the shade that I can put the gloves and the bags and the sign-in form, somewhere where people can see me as well. At a site visit, I'll tend to have a look around for the types of and the amount of litter, so I can send people in different directions when they arrive. I take a note of kind of any potential hazards, things like tree roots or uneven ground. Perhaps there might be some illegal dumping, traffic, cars, gutters, just that sort of thing. And of course, like logistics, like parking, are there toilets and water taps available in the area? Generally, just making sure that the place is safe and accessible. So once you're happy with your location and your meeting point, we're on to step 2, which is registering your event. Now, you might ask, why do I need to register my cleanup with Clean Up Australia? Why can't I just go and clean up? Well, you can just go and clean up anytime, but we'd really love you to register for 3 reasons. 1, we can give you all the gear that you need to have a super simple and safe cleanup. Secondly, registering really helps us record litter data, as Jenny touched on. When we know what, where, and who's cleaning up, we can improve our services, but also those in your local community. And lastly, when you register with us, you're covered by public liability insurance, which keeps you and everyone else safe from accidents, which very rarely happen, but of course they can happen. And registering is actually really simple. You can go to the Clean Up Australia website, cleanup.org.au, and you'll see Register a Cleanup here on the homepage. When you scroll through, you'll see there's 3 different types of cleanups that you can choose from: community, school, and business. Community cleanups are for individuals and friends, family, youth groups, and other community groups like Girl Guides, Scouts groups, faith-based groups, bush regen, sporting groups, loads more. Most of you will fall into this category. You select register, you'll come to a page where you can create an account if you don't already have one, or you can log in or confirm your details. You'll then progress to step 2, where you can create your event. Now, I won't go through all the details on the form that you need, but there are a few things that you can consider when you're filling out the form. You can decide if you want to make your event public and allow everyone to come along and join it, or if you want to keep it a private event. If you select to have a public event, you also have the option for it to appear on our cleanup map where people can see and join it if they like. You also have the option to choose what you want to do with the rubbish at the end of your event, where to dispose of it. Now, you can choose to dispose of it at yourself in your home bins, or you can select council assistance. And if you choose council assistance, you'll need to get in touch with your local council to arrange for them to pick up your rubbish bags. And we partner with councils all across the country to help offer support for cleanups like this. We've got some resources to help you reach out to your council, and I'll quickly show you this and where to find them on our website. Again, head to our website, resources, and supporting councils. And you can see all the councils that's here that have signed up to support our community in the different states along here. You can also select Find Your Supporting Council, and a spreadsheet will open in a new window. You can see here that all the supporting councils, their contact details, and how they support you. If you don't see your council on this list, you can jump online and contact them directly via their website or phone them and see if they'll be able to help you. And while you're there, feel free to kindly give them a nudge and suggest they might like to come on board as a supporting council of Clean Up Australia. Okay. During the registration process, you'll also get to choose what type of cleanup kit you want. We have a few different types. Oops, here we go. We have a few different types of kits to choose from. These are free, and we cover postage costs as well for community and school cleanups. You might not need one and have your own stuff to use, and that's perfectly fine. We have individual kits if you're doing a solo cleanup, family kits with kids' gloves and small bags, but we also have kits for groups of 10 to 20 people. And I thought I'd quickly cover what is inside each of our kits. We have these large, durable, 100% recycled plastic bags for your rubbish. They're strong and they hold a lot. You can roll down the top to make it a little bit more accessible. The group kits have both blue and yellow gloves on them. They're sturdy, rubber coated. The blue sizes are slightly smaller than the yellow ones, and we encourage everybody to reuse their gloves. They can be machine washed and dried and used over and over for all the many cleanups that I see in your future. Every kit comes with a high-vis vest as well for the event supervisor to be spotted easily at the cleanups. And your kit comes with a pack of paperwork as well. And within the paperwork, we have an event guide, which has everything you need to know about your cleanup, including all the things that we've covered today in more detail. It has a paper volunteer registration form for volunteers to sign up when they arrive. They can also use a QR code and sign in via the digital form as well, and this is also in the kit. You'll need your event number handy for this one. There's posters for you to stick up and promote your event, like this one, in A3 size. You might put it up at work and invite your colleagues to come along, or perhaps just on the fridge and get the kids and family excited about it, or hang it in the local supermarket or cafe and invite the public to join in. Lastly, as Jen mentioned, you'll receive an end of cleanup report to record what you find on the day, and we'll talk through this a little bit more in a minute. All this paperwork is free to download on the website as well if you don't get a kit. You also have the option to choose whether you'd like to have a sharps container. And there's also the chance you can order extra materials on our online store if you feel like you need some more for your day. So that's everything in a kit. Jump back in. We're nearly there with our event. Once you've entered all the information in the registration form, create an event, and you get a page that looks like this, and it has your event number here and a unique URL for you to share on socials or in an email, in a newsletter, on your website. There are many ways to invite people to come along to your cleanup. I always think more the merrier, but don't worry if no one turns up. Cleaning up on your own, just with your kids or your doggo, it's very rewarding and it does make a real difference. If you've got a group of people coming along, maybe you can consider putting on a barbecue or a picnic or a coffee catch-up, just like Tamara does with the Lions group. Why not approach your local butcher, see if they donate some sausages, or maybe the local cafe might provide a discount on coffees for your volunteers. You might be surprised at how grateful people are and how they'd really love to support you and the work you're doing. So there we are. You found a cleanup place, you've registered your event, the day of your cleanup has arrived. What do? Well, step 3 is clean up. And these are a guide to how you can run your cleanup on the day based on what we tend to do as well. So number 1, arrive at your meeting point, unpack your cleanup kit, you've got all your materials ready to go. Welcome your volunteers, or your family or your friends, and ask them to sign in via the paper form or the QR code to the digital form. Remember again to have that event number at hand. Number 3, we recommend you run through a short briefing to show everyone where they might like to walk and clean up, but importantly also let them know what time to meet back. How long you clean up for is completely up to you. Often an hour is plenty of time and your bags will be full and heavy. So number 4, everyone trots off on their cleanup to pick up litter, and that's the fun bit. When everyone gets back, point 5, to the meeting point, you can empty 1 bag of rubbish and have a look at what you've found. Just as Jen mentioned, we call this the quick litter count, and it takes about 10 to 15 minutes. A quick litter count means counting just a sample of the key litter items and recording this data in the end of cleanup report, which comes in the kit. How you go about a quick litter count is really simple. Again, just select one of the commingled bags of rubbish you've collected or one of the rubbish bags and one recycling bag and empty it onto a tarp or just a spare bag or the ground even. Do a quick count of the priority items, or you could do a comprehensive count if you've got time. And you can fill the online form with the priority items on your phone or use the paper form in your kit. You don't have to count everything, but a sample of one bag is really helpful. And as Jen said, the quick litter count or the end of cleanup report helps us identify litter trends across the country that feed into our annual litter report. And I think Lucia might share a copy of the our latest litter report, which we launched last week, in the chat for you to check out. After your quick litter count, you can dispose of all the rubbish. And as we mentioned, you can do those in your bags, in your own bins, dispose the bags in your own bins at home. Or if you think you've got lots of stuff and big pieces, reach out to local council and arrange for them to collect the rubbish. If you're contacting council, you need to reach out to them a couple of weeks before your cleanup, just so they can organise the cleanup for you. You can also drop it off at local council tips and waste management facilities if you have them accessible. Some of the supporting councils do waive fees for Clean Up Australia Day. If you've picked up batteries and vapes, we encourage you to keep them separate. Lots of supermarkets recycle batteries now, so you can drop them off there. Vapes are a little bit more complicated. They contain chemical, electronic, plastic, and battery components that make them quite difficult to dispose of. There's a few places that we can recommend, one being the RecycleMate app, where you can find a local place who can accept vapes. And there are more and more organisations like Resmart who are accepting vapes too. Number 7, you've done it. That's you've completed a cleanup, and all that's left is to give yourself some huge high fives all around. You've made a real practical difference. Well done. So now, for everyone who doesn't want to run a cleanup of your own, that's totally fine, and it's easy to join a cleanup near you. There are thousands of events happening in Clean Up Australia Day and in the days and weeks in February and March. So to help you find one, we've actually got a map on our website that you can scroll around to see all the different events going on. Head to our website, select Get Involved, join a cleanup, and you'll see here you can search by postcode, or you can zoom in or out to find one that's near you. And I know that the fantastic team at Richmond Lions have got one in Windsor that is open for anyone to join. So you can see all the pins on our map here, and you can select a cleanup and their event page will open. And you can see here that's available for people to join. So by selecting here, you can join, create an account and join this event. See all the event details here, or you can contact the event supervisor directly. Okay. This is how you can get involved with Clean Up Australia Day on Sunday, the 1st of March. And if you can't do the 1st of March, that's no problem at all. Any day is great. And we're here to support on Clean Up Australia Day and every other day. We've got lots of resources that cover what we've talked about today and go into even more detail if you need. You can find answers to frequently asked questions, some really beautiful, short, helpful videos, and a detailed community toolkit with more step-by-step instructions and promotional material. All these are available under the resource tab on our website. And if you have any specific questions about your event, please do reach out to us on our website via email or give us a call. All our contact details are on our website under Contact Us page as well. I hope we've got some time for some questions now. I've just raced through that so that we can get to any. I'll welcome Lucia Moon, our project and advocacy specialist, who has been monitoring the questions coming in. Is there anything that we can help with, Lucia? And I'll bring everybody else on board too, so we can all chime in.
There is a question about business cleanups. So is the process the same for a corporate or business cleanup as a community cleanup?
The process for registering a cleanup is the same. We do have a cost associated with business cleanups, and we hope that you'll be able to support the work that we're doing to be able to fund community and school cleanup kits through that additional charge. But the process for registering is the same. Anything else to add, Jenny or Lucia?
No, and I think you've covered it, Greta. It's we've tried to keep it a really manageable fee for businesses to get involved. But if it is a barrier for your organisation, please reach out to us and talk to us direct, and we can see what we can do because obviously we really want to encourage as many people as possible. And to start, it might be that you actually join one of the community cleanups that's happening in your area, so you can get a feel for how it works and how you could get involved. So yes, we have so many businesses across the country getting involved. It's a wonderful way for them to engage their employees and team members. And the business cleanup day is actually on the Tuesday prior to Cleanup Australia Day. So it's a big week for cleanup. We have the business cleanup on Tuesday, which this year's Tuesday, the 24th of February. Then we have schools cleanup on the Friday, and then the big community day of action on the first Sunday, which, as Greta mentioned, this year is Sunday, the 1st of March.
That's great. Thank you, Jenny. By the way, everyone, hello. I forgot to introduce myself. Lucia, I'm also on the cleanup team. I'm the project and advocacy specialist. So very nice to speak with you all today. If anyone has any more questions, please feel free to put them into the Q&A. There's a great comment here from a community member who mentions that vapes can also be returned and recycled at some community recycling centres. That's true in different states across New South Wales, Queensland, I know have a lot of drop-off points, but all around the country, best to check with them first as this is a case-by-case basis. I have another comment from the Campus Fair Shire Council who appreciates this webinar and thanks you.
Oh,
and
that's great.
yes, thank you, John. That's a great comment there. I might just ask a question from our FAQs. One is, do I need to bring anything when I attend a cleanup?
Good question, Lucia. I know in our cleanup kit, we supply a lot of the things that you need for putting litter into a bag, gloves and safety equipment like that. But there are other things as a volunteer that we encourage people to bring along. And that's more like safe, just, comfortable clothing, covered shoes, hats, water bottles, it seems quite obvious, but if you've never done a cleanup before, you don't know that those sort of things can make it much more comfortable for you. Other things that we do encourage to bring along that can be helpful. If you have pickers or things that you'd like to bring along to help, or tongs and things to help get litter in tricky areas, that's always helpful as well. Is there anything else, Lucia, that you always bring along to your cleanups?
Hat and water, sunscreen. I think you've covered it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to stay sun safe and ready to go. Comfortable clothing, good shoes.
Right. Yeah.
And depending on the area, a bit of fly spray or mosquito repellent if you're down in a mangrove, that kind of thing. It's really helpful.
Yeah.
It is sometimes hot and dirty work. So definitely wear, your older clothes. We know that Lucia gets down into the mangroves and her cleanups, and she's had to be in big rubber boots and that sort of thing. But I think generally around the streets, it's not, you don't get that dirty, but it can be a bit hot and dusty.
Yeah.
That's right. And some community groups really like to spread the word in their local areas of the cleanup that they're hosting. What kind of promotional resources are available for volunteers?
Good question. Within your own cleanup kit, and you can access on the paperwork on the website, you can, as I mentioned, download posters for you to complete and put up in your area, but you can also download social media tiles that are designed to promote Cleanup Australia Day, to encourage people to register their own events or get involved with your event as well. But very happy for people to get creative when it comes to sharing their events. Yeah, there's lots of different ways.
Yeah, that's great.
Dropping in flyers to, if you have a local school in your area, it's a great way to get the school involved. That's one of the things we've done at Turramurra. Just reaching out to your local community groups. It tends to, generate a lot of interest. I might also just, thank John from joining us, because the councils are just so important to our work. And it is really incredible how much rubbish you actually do collect. Even in our local cleanups, just in the local area, it looks quite clean, but once you start looking in, the flower beds and, behind, shopping centres and things like that, it is amazing how quickly the bags of rubbish build up. And I'm sure this has been your experience too, Tamara. So it is really helpful at the end of it not to be left with, the worry of what to do with all the rubbish. So even if it does look quite clean, I do encourage you to reach out to your council and let them know where you'll be leaving the bags of rubbish. And the councils, in my experience, have just been so quick to pick up the rubbish. Within the next day, typically it's collected. So they've usually got a really good system of letting you know where to leave it. At our Turramurra cleanups around the train station, we leave it in front of the bins area and it's always gone the next morning, which is just amazing. But even in a small cleanup of 10 to 15 people, you can get up to 20, 25 bags of rubbish. So just a little, don't know if you've got anything to add on that, Tamara.
Tamara, you're just on mute there.
Yeah, usually it's about that, you probably get a half a bag to a bag per person. That's something that you estimate, when you're going out. You can buddy up too, which makes it fun. But, you can do your own thing as well, depending on the number of people that you have.
Yeah, correct. And it's interesting, the nature of litter has changed, and a lot of what we pick up now are smaller, lighter items. And one thing that you'll find when you do a cleanup anywhere in the country is a lot of cigarette butts. And I would just make note that cigarette butts are actually plastic waste. So it is really important to pick up those tiny little pieces of litter, because they are things that do easily escape into drains, and then they end up in the rivers and streams and actually do make their way out into the ocean. So getting them on your cleanup, getting down and finding all those little things like the cigarette butts and pixters and sushi fish plastic containers and things like that, all those little bits really does make a massive difference if we do get those out of our precious environment.
Absolutely.
Definitely does. Just having a look if any other questions have come in. Just a comment from someone around making sure you check what your community recycling facility can take, as it can change, and to be careful around things like roads, as it can go from quiet to busy quickly. I might just mention on that as Greta mentioned, safety is our priority at Clean Up Australia. And so we do have specific requirements around roadside cleanups, and those can be found on our website. But if you're doing a footpath cleanup, which is just staying on the footpath, that's fine. It's very safe, as long as everyone is aware of the traffic and roads. But specific roadside cleanups where there is no footpath, or you're on the same level as where the cars drive, of course, can be a bit dangerous. And so we don't generally allow those, except if you've collaborated with local council to ensure that that road area is safe with a reduced speed limit. So that's just something to keep in mind, and all details about that can be found on our safety page on our website. Another person has also mentioned creeks and the weather, which is definitely something to keep in mind when you're prepping for your cleanup. Of course, if it looks like there's going to be a big rainstorm, you're always free to postpone, and cleanups can happen any day of the year. So you can just push it back a week or however long you need to make sure that it's safe and enjoyable for everyone. I can't see any more questions coming in at the moment. Did you have any final words, Greta?
Those are really good points. Thanks, Lucia. Yeah, we know that roadsides and major roads are really bad places for litter and litter hotspots. But for our cleanups, we hope that you'll please keep in mind, as Lucia said, that safety is our number one priority. So let's pick somewhere that we know is safe and ready to be cleaned up. There's lots of locations out there. Please do get in touch if you need a hand with finding a location or want some support. We can do that as well. And yeah, if you've got any more specific questions or you feel like there's something that we didn't cover in today's conversation, we'd really love to hear from you. You can email us at cleanup@cleanup.com.au or send us a note via our website. Thanks, Lucia, for putting that in there. If everyone else has got anything else to mention, we might wrap it up and say thanks so much to Tamara from the Lions Club of Turramurra for sharing your tips and your experiences and for being an incredible cleanup leader in your community. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's great to have you. Thank you, Jenny and Lucia, for supporting today and leading the conversation. And thank you, everyone, for listening in. As Jenny said, we're so grateful to all our volunteers for caring and for taking action against litter. Thanks for getting your hands dirty and keeping litter out of our environment and out of our parks and our oceans. From all of us, have a great afternoon, but also have a truly fantastic Clean Up Australia Day. Thanks so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.